So this is kind of my pre-market routine that I like to any level that I think might help me kind of establish confirmation or a point to sell.
Back another day, business docs. So go ahead and do that. Hopefully I don't get ran over. We'll see how I
Find something that benefits you, and if it does, feel free to leave a like on the video. What's good, everybody? We're back with another episode of Business Docs, and today I'm going to be talking about how I plan on day trading as a full-time student. These are the same methods I used while working full-time over the summer and even when I was in high school and had school all day. So let's get right into it. So this is actually the evening before market open, and we've made it over to my setup. This is usually the time I like to use to make a watch list, see if there was any overreactions to news or anything like that. I like using the evening or night before to kind of get prepared, to kind of have an idea of what I want to do in the morning. And I feel like this kind of just helps me stay focused and feel less on edge in the morning and just already have my plan and be more ready to go. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. That is pretty much everything for tonight. Nothing too crazy today in the watch list. I do mostly trade large cap stocks as well as TQs and SQs, which are ETFs based off of the NASDAQ. And the reason for that is because for me, they're a lot more predictable. I understand them more. Unlike small cap stocks, they are a lot more consistent. They jump around a lot less. And the momentum's just not as much, even though at times with Tesla and Apple recently, they do kind of look like momentum stocks, but they are a lot more consistent than penny stocks or small cap stocks. So that's just what I've found the most success with, especially when swing trading and holding those positions overnight and stuff like that. So my watch list today or for tomorrow, all I really have is that's interesting is Uber and Lyft, just because of the recent news that was dropped that acted as a positive catalyst. So I kind of want to just follow up with that and see how it goes, because it is super overbought. But you never know, it could continue to rally. And then Tesla hit highs of 2,000 today. So whenever you're watching this video, I don't know what it's at, but today was the day that it hit 2,000, which is super cool. And then I also just have Apple in there, just because that has also been rallying. And then we have /NQ, which is the NASDAQ future, at least for Thinkorswim. And the reason I have that in there is that I like to look at it at the same time I'm trading TQs and SQs, just to kind of get the extra data. And I'll kind of go ahead and jump into my computer and kind of show you guys how I kind of set things up, alerts wise, and kind of what I'm looking at. Just it might serve some use to you guys, maybe give you some ideas. I'll also go ahead and link in the description some of the resources I use to build my watch list and to kind of get an idea of what I'll be trading the next day. Hopefully you find something that benefits you, and if it does, feel free to leave a like. I'll really appreciate it. At this point, it is about 6 a.m. I've just woken up and I'm getting all of my things going here. So this is kind of my pre-market routine that I like to do while I'm waking up. I'll usually go through and just mark key levels. So in this case, that's just the pre-market high and pre-market low for TQs. And I like just to kind of see these levels for potentially a breakout and kind of trade to the upside, or a breakdown. If it does break below this bottom support here, then that's obviously signs that the stock is bearish. But of course, you know, that's just one of the things we look at and never the only thing we trade off of. Now, I'll usually also set alerts, just because if I'm looking at another stock or something else is going on, I don't want to miss that opportunity. So I found that setting alerts will kind of help me out with that. It helps me not miss any opportunities, and then I'll kind of just go through and mark any levels that I think are important. That could be a consolidation level, previous high from a different day, or just any level that I think might help me kind of establish confirmation or a point to sell or buy. So here, kind of going through and doing the same thing to SQ. SQs is the inverse of TQs, so you can kind of see that they're pretty much polar opposites. And I'll trade either one depending on kind of the direction of the market. I usually try to trade in the same direction as the market's going that day, just because it is normally easier, at least for me. So yeah, the same thing, just marking those highs and lows, any levels of consolidation or areas that I think might help me out later when I'm trading. I like to make things as easy as possible when I'm actually trading. And again, those alerts so we aren't missing any opportunities during the trading day. If you're looking at something else or there's something else going on, those are always a great thing to fall back on. And then we also have here on Uber, which shot up on news. That was kind of this positive catalyst for this huge shoot up. So obviously I was just kind of trying to find an area that it might be trading between the following day, and then as well looking at the potential pullback area where how far it could come down. You should always have that risk to reward ratio in mind. So I just went ahead and set alerts to kind of see which way I was going to go. I don't usually short a stock, but if the potential is there and it makes sense to me, I'll definitely do it. And this is one of the ones I was looking at just because it looks so overextended, but there's a lot of momentum, so it could break out and go up as well. So same thing here with Tesla. I'm just marking those levels of support and just highs and lows for pre-market, things like that. Again, those alerts so we don't miss any opportunities. And then Foot Locker, similar to Uber, this one shot up based off of a catalyst, and like we know, news is always, or not always, but pretty much always short-lived, and there's usually a correction afterwards. So that's what we're looking for here. Again, another opportunity for possible sell-off. I don't always short, but if the opportunity is there and it makes sense, I'd love to do it. And sometimes those can be great day trades. I wouldn't necessarily swing things like that, maybe swing a recovery or something like that, but off the actual news, I usually just take a day trade. And then Apple, again, setting those levels here. Like all the other tech stocks, it has been shooting up recently. I did go ahead and take a swing trade on this one, and that's probably been one of my best trades this whole week, just because it's been absolutely just going up like crazy. So yeah, go ahead and use Apple for those swing trades. And then here I was just marking an alert to see if we're going to make higher highs and keep that trend going up. And again, just marking those levels where it could possibly turn and things like that. And that's pretty much everything.
All right, so I have about an hour till my first class. Right now I'm actually on my way to CVS to go pick up some stuff we need for the dorm. So go ahead and do that. Hopefully I don't get ran over. We'll see how it goes.
So luckily I did not get run over by a car when I was on my way to CVS, and we did end up securing that bag of what we needed. So before we close out this video, I did want to give a couple last remarks on trading while having a full-time job or being a full-time student. So a couple of things. First off, I think it's really important to kind of establish a routine or just be realistic with yourself on how much time you want to devote to it. So me, I am taking kind of a more aggressive approach just because I've been doing it for a while already and I've kind of established that I really want to do this. So what I'm doing personally is every morning between 6 and 9 a.m. is when I spend paper trading. So that's I'm making as many transactions as I want to get ready for the point of when I get past the PDT rule. I just want to be able to prove to myself that I will continue to be profitable once I can make as many trades as I want. And as the closer and closer I get to passing that PDT rule, hopefully it'll be around the same time that I can prove to myself that I will continue to be profitable. What I'm doing within my actual trading account is taking those swing trades that I was talking about earlier. And now that we're on the subject of swing trades, I think just one of the biggest things is just going in with a plan, and that kind of applies to any trade you take, whether it's a day trade, scalp, or swing trade, whatever it may be. You really should always have a plan. And my things that I found kind of helped me be the most profitable was just maybe focusing on 1 to 3 stocks per week that I was considering taking a swing trade on. And I found that focusing on less and trying to find those high quality ones and really paying attention to them helped me the most when it comes to profitability on swing trades. And that's just me personally. Obviously, do your own research, try it out yourself and see what you like. But that is what I did. And once you find a stock that you feel comfortable taking a swing position in, go ahead and do that, and just make sure you have some kind of a stop loss if it does go wrong, and then also know where you plan on taking profits. If you have, whether it be at the end of the week or when it hits a certain resistance level, whatever that looks like for you, and just go ahead and stick to that plan as best as you can. And if things do go south, always have that stop loss. Don't just bag hold. Obviously, it's your decision, but I have found myself that by being able to cut those losses and finding a place where you feel comfortable, you're not just leaving all of your account money in that position when you could be making money in a different position or just using that to practice. Instead, it's just stuck in one position, which isn't the best option. Another thing with swing trades is I always try to focus on good quality companies. And the reason for that is that I know that overnight they're not going to vanish. When I took a swing trade on Apple, it was because I knew it was a reputable company that has been trending upward since pretty much its IPO. So that's those are the stocks that I'm comfortable taking swing positions on, because you are holding these overnight. Just personally, I was able to sleep well knowing that my money was in a good company like Apple. This also applies to other ones. So I would say also not to just look for stocks that have a lot of potential on the upside or anything like that, but to also keep in mind if it's a company that you think has enough value to not just disappear overnight. All right, thank you all so much for watching. That is it for this video. Before we leave, I did want to leave you guys with a quote of the week, which I want to start doing in these videos. And this week, that quote is, "The bigger the dream, the harder the grind." And that is from Eric Thomas. He is one of my favorite motivational speakers. I highly recommend listening to him if you ever are feeling kind of lost or lacking motivation in any way, or working towards your goals. He's a great guy, and I would highly recommend listening to him. So thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. I hope it was of value to you, and if it was, make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you would like to stay along for the journey and hopefully get some more value. Love you guys. That was Business Talks.